How is everybody doing? This is Sniper, and it is episode 12. This week we actually brought on Hales. How you doing, Hales?
Hi, GM, even though it's the evening.
It might be GM whenever I drop this episode on Monday, so it's all good. I know
That's
that
true.
this week we do have Cool Pets. They've been delayed a little bit. They've been having a little bit of errors, but it's all good. We still believe in the team.
We
We
love
did
the
have.
team.
Oh yeah, we love Klon, Tom, Link, all of them. Even the people behind the team. I know it got so busy in the server that they ended up putting like mini mods just so people could like ask questions. It was getting wild in there. So
Wow. Well,
yeah,
that's
I'm.
that's cool that the community members like stepped up to help out and do that. Like, like just stepping up to help the community and answer questions when the team is like literally bombarded with like things to do.
Oh, they're getting
Um,
destroyed too.
it sucks. Like I was talking to this about this to one of my friends that just bought his cool cat, like literally right before Cool Pets, and he was like, "I'm literally not even mad. Like I'm a new investor and I haven't even minted my cool pet, and I'm not even mad. Like I love that he loves the team so much. He's like, literally imagine being mad at the Cool Cats team. Like it's, I don't know,
Literally though.
couldn't be me.
Literally though, like, and a lot of people were telling me they were like, "Oh, I could have just waited for the price of Cool Cats to drop and then get my egg," and I'm like, "No, that's not really the case because most of these Cool Cats that you see that are marked down are the same Cool Cats that have already claimed their egg." So
Exactly.
a lot of people think they're getting deals. I mean, you are if you genuinely want a cat because there are some great deals out there. But
Hmm.
other than that, we had some things going on with the beings, other things. So I will just encourage people that are listening in. I won't touch on that topic, but I do just encourage everyone to do your own research when going into projects because it could look one way and then end up being another. And the last thing I wanted to say was BAYC, Board Ape Yacht Club. They went up to like 116. I don't know if they hit 120, but they're down
That
to
was
under
crazy.
100. Yeah, I know they're under 100 now at 99. There's a lot of projects that are not really taking a hit, but I don't know, kind of a correction, and I thought that was going to come before too long anyways. I mean, Deadfellas kind of went down a little bit.
Hmm.
BAYC, Cool Cats, they went down because
Yeah.
of their little mishaps. But yeah, there's a lot of people going down. Um,
Yeah. The market, I feel like, is just very fragile right now.
yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I was talking about this to one of the group chats I'm in. Like, I feel like the first half of January and like back half of December, like, particularly, I mean, maybe I'm biased because I was, very involved in this like Little Lemon movement at that time, but I just felt like the space was so much more like chill and like people were happy and like optimistic. And right now, I mean, maybe it's because we're like people are saying it's a bear market. Maybe I'm just an optimistic person and I don't see it as a bear market really, but like it's just gotten like cutthroat these past couple weeks. Like man, like it's like getting toxic. Like I had to remove myself from some conversations and like like after I kind of talked my shit sorry after I kind of like talked
No,
and
you're
said what I
good.
had to say about about those projects and with regards to beings and like fishy fam and now literally beepos, which I don't want to flood anybody's bags, but I never supported the beepos because I think there's a huge artistic IP infringement with fucking Disney happening with that. So I never even wanted to touch that with a 10-foot pole when I saw that come out. So it's just like I feel like people are or they saw what happened. Again, maybe I'm just narcissistic and I think that just because I was involved with this lemons thing that people saw the lemons blow up, so now they're just like feeding off of that community and like trying to get people and like almost replicate that with these complete like rugs of projects. And again, I'm so sorry, like I really hope that I'm not offending anybody. Like, oh fuck, some people are gonna blow me up. um it's just my opinion, my conviction about these projects. It's my views are my own. You don't have to feel the same way. But yeah, just the energy in the space has just gotten so like entitled and like, oh god, it I was talking to Winnie today, shout out to Winnie, and I was like, I literally woke up this morning, saw everything, like reflected on everything that happened with the beings, and then this afternoon seeing what was going on with the Beepos, and I was like, I literally just wanted to throw my phone like off out the window. Like I was like, I can't believe, like I'm embarrassed to like be part of this space right now. Like I know obviously the bad actions of, you know, certain individuals don't, you know, represent the entire community, but it's really hard when they have such a huge platform and then they use it and do this kind of shit, and it ruins it for some people. So I'll get off my soapbox about that, I guess.
No, you're good. We actually have a lot of things to talk about. So, I mean, that passion, I love it because it makes me think that, you know, not even think, I know that this will be a good episode and we'll be able to have a good, genuine conversation. So,
Hell yeah,
I do want to say, though, big shout out to Winnie as well. But I think a lot of things that have been on people's mind as well, not only so many rugs, so many bad actors. I talked about it today in a group with some friends. I think it's really this meta of the grinding for an allow list spot. You know, there's a lot of these upcoming there's a lot of upcoming projects with great art, you know, and I'm not gonna point out anyone specifically because that's not what this is. But you know, to sit in a server and what some people think, including myself, to sit there and grind out a pointless, I'm not going to say a pointless relationship because you might actually find a friend, but I have to sit in the server for hours upon hours and hope that I get picked out of 30 to 40, maybe even 50,000 people, that you just see me doing one kind nature, or, you know, I got to do this or that just to hope I get an allow list. It's not like, you know, credit. There are, like, you know, sometimes you can do art or sometimes you can do this, but I might not be the best artist. I might be so terrible I'm scared to put my art in a server full of amazing artists, which, not that you should be scared, but, you know, you should get the point. Yeah, these allow lists are tiring on people. I know a couple people that were like, yo, I love this project, but I'm not even going for it now because I'm not gonna sit in the server and spend all week or all month and then still not get it. So yeah. I mean, there's a lot of tired people, I think, right now, and it's coming off of 2021. A lot of people got some good wins. A lot of people got some good money, and yeah, I really don't know what people are gonna do now. I think it is kind of a bear market, and not to like you said, not to FUD anybody's bags. But with everything going bad right now, you know, with all the bad actors, continuous rugs, we kind of need another project to kind of come out with full of positivity. Or honestly, I think once the cool pets come out and their allow list starts rolling again and their public mint goes again, I really feel like all this is going to be like kind of water under the bridge, like short-term FUD for the cats. Because I know a lot of people were upset, but it's like, come on now. Would you rather it take time and get a way better game, or do you want it pushed out and just have a terrible? So
that's literally what I was gonna say. I was like, as soon as the game like comes out, everyone's gonna shut up because they're gonna be playing the game, right? Like that's exactly
facts.
what I was thinking. And I have to be honest, like I stayed out of the Cats Discord for the past couple of days because I was like, the way that some people were acting and reacting, I was like, most of us are grown adults, like acting like children. And to go back to your initial point of Discord grinding, I just simply won't do it. Sniper, you know I'm the worst at Discord. I missed messages from you in order to do this show.
That is true.
Which was a complete accident. I'm just an asshole. No, but actually the truth is I have 2 Discord accounts. I have one for like my personal like NFT shit, and then I have one for my current job at work, which is how I like manage our community. I don't mix my 2 accounts together because that's inappropriate, but yeah, so I just like, I'm not really active in my personal one as much as I'd like to be. And I think that kind of helps my mental health. Also, every time I see these channels popping off, like, it's impossible to keep up. Like, it's like being in an auditorium and everyone's just screaming. Like, I literally, oh my God, you just gave me anxiety hearing that. Discord alert. Oh my God. Just kidding. But yeah, no, it's like, it's crazy in there, and I just simply won't do it. If a project requires Discord grinding, I usually just sit it out, or I try to obtain it a different way, either via creating relationships with people on the team, like, or something like that. Like, I would much rather spend my time building relationships and having conversations than sitting behind my computer having fake ass conversations in a Discord server. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'd rather hop on Twitter Spaces and talk to project, team members and stuff, or, something like that. Something that I feel is a little bit more intimate, because that's how you really foster those relationships. Like, I've worked with, in my my day job, my IRL job, I've worked in Web 2 for 6 years now, and actually probably more than 6 years if I'm being real. I'm a child of the internet in social media. Like, I've been on these things, I've been doxxed since I was literally like 10 years old, like being on Zanga and like all of those like platforms and Neopets and all that shit. So I've considered myself to be like somewhat of a communications and like social media expert, just because I've been able to see how these platforms grow and evolve over time, and seeing the progression of let's say the psychology of it. Like, I used to really focus on Instagram because I worked in e-commerce, which e-commerce just means you sell shit online. And I worked primarily at CPG companies, which marketing, it's funny because marketing and NFTs and like crypto is really similar, because there's just a bunch of fucking useless like acronyms and shit and abbreviations that like make you sound really smart, but really they're just like, that's all they're there for, is like to gatekeep like the industry. But I've worked in the CPG industry, which is the consumer packaged goods industry, since I graduated from college. My job out of college was being the social media and marketing manager of a prenatal DNA test that's still available online. It's called Sneak Peek Test. Working there was a true highlight in my career. I will remember it forever. It's how I started my social media career, essentially professionally, and I'm forever grateful for that opportunity. I doubt that she will listen to this, but my best friend Sarah, who was one of my best friends in high school, gave me that opportunity. She worked there as biz dev, and she recommended me for the position. So again, like your experience and who you know and your relationships and keeping good relationships with people, I can't emphasize enough how important that is in real life and in Web3. Like, it's so important to collaborate and compromise and be a good person. But that was a long-winded answer to saying that I won't grind in Discord. I would much rather like make relationships and actually have conversations and develop friendships and inside jokes and what have you with different people. And if we don't vibe, then that's fine. Like, you don't vibe with everyone, don't worry about it. Move on to the next thing. There's projects that pop up every single day here. But yeah.
Yo, I just want everybody to know that my number one goal in 2022 is now to get Sarah to listen to this, since you said that. Yeah. So Sarah's going to hear this, I promise you that. But
hell no, yeah. I love her.
You're right. I just can't do the grinding, especially someone like, I'm nobody special. I'm not saying I deserve anything, but doing my own articles, doing a podcast, being in 50 groups, there's no way I'm just going to be able to pop into 5 of them and be able to grind all day, answer questions all day, talk to people all day. It's just not me, never will be.
Yeah.
And if somebody else wants to, that's more power to them. I'm not knocking you, but it's crazy. Go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah, I just think that they should just get more creative with it, right? Like, why are you having people grind in a Discord server? Like, if your project is creative and you want to foster that creativity, like you said, like, why don't you have, say, an art contest? Or here's an example, like, Sniper, you said that you weren't really comfortable like making or sharing art, which is totally fine and understandable. And like, there's a project, Breakfast World, that one of their things to get on their allow list was to create a breakfast sandwich. Like, some people created some really creative things, and or just like really basic and delicious things, and that's how they got on. So it's like you didn't have to dox yourself, you didn't really have to, grind that hard. All you had to do is like go to the grocery store and like, actually put in some effort. And for me, like, I know how hard it is to get people to care and to like do shit, like I said, I've been growing these communities and trying to figure out the best way to nurture these communities for so long, and diving into the NFT space has done so much for my experience in finding the right way to do that, and being able to nurture those relationships for a long time. Like the perfect example is Cool Cats. Like, Sniper, you and I are both Cool Cats, and I got into NFTs with the Cool Cats. My first NFT was my Cool Cat. It was transferred to me by somebody to get me into the space, and I won't comment really further on that, but it changed a lot for me. I will say that, and without that happening, my life probably wouldn't have taken the trajectory that it has taken over the past 6 months. That's for sure. But we're thankful for every step in our journey. But what I was saying with that was the Cool Cats really are great at keeping their community engaged and nurtured, and feeling like they are part of the team and project themselves. Like, they hold the weekly town halls, their mods and even their team members are very active in their Discord. Their team is doxed, so people actually can have relationships with them and, support them. And what I also like is that they do cross-platform marketing. So like, not only do they just like mess around on Twitter, like they're also on Instagram and like Medium and stuff like that. So I think that's really important, just the transparency, especially in like the Web3 era. It's super important, but like the comfort that the team gives you in knowing like this isn't just like our project, it's our project, like all encompassing our project. So shout out to them. We love the cats, and they just do an excellent job managing their community. So we love to see it.
No, yeah, for sure. I mean, I've said numerous times that Cool Cats have for sure changed my life. Colin and Evan and all of them are great people. I don't know why I called Klon by his real name. I have no clue. We're great guys, but we're not that close. Yeah, Colin. I think Keith Grossman said it on here one time, and he was like, "Yeah, you know Colin," and I was like, "No, I don't." And he was like, "Klon," and I was like, "Oh, that's his name." That makes sense why it's Klon. You could just move. Okay, I see what we're doing here. But no, yeah, they're great people. I love that they hired a CEO. They hired Skiz from I believe he has a Microsoft background. They just put Queenie on. They have Chris Peralta. He's now the head mod. I've been with them guys, not team wise, but I've been with the project since July 13th. So it's been a ride. And is it called Breakfast? You know what? I'm about to actually tell them the actual name. Breakfast World. Yeah, Breakfast World. So Breakfast World is minting right now. I like the project. I did mint 3, pretty cheap. It's like 0.05. But read over them. I'll probably tag them under this. They're growing. But I really like I've always preached believe in communities, believe in people, and I really like what they're doing. I see them in a lot of community spaces. Every time I'm speaking in a space or doing something, they always come and support me. So I just want to give that support back to them. So big shout out to Breakfast World for sure. So I'm glad you mentioned them. But
yeah, straight up.
What's even crazier is me and Hales talked before this, and this is only her second podcast, so she might have been a little nervous, but we're already 20 minutes into it, and we surprisingly have not touched one topic that I've written down on my thing. So that's great. That's actually great. But you did answer some things already.
Hell yeah.
So I guess the first thing that I want to say officially is, who are you in the community? Could you talk us through who you are in the community, and do you have any at all crypto background or NFT background before obviously before 2022 you did, but like when did you get started, I guess I should say.
Gotcha. Yeah. So who I am? My name is Haley. I actually go by Hales. Um, that has been my nickname since like college. Like actually nobody called me that before college, and it's just kind of stuck since then. And uh, I am from California. Like I said, I'm fully doxxed, so I'm like very free with this information. I was born and raised in California, but I actually just announced that I'm gonna be moving to New York City within a month or so, or 2 months. So that'll be very exciting for me. I've lived in San Diego for 10 years, so uh, that's going to be a great adventure and experience. But just a little bit about my background. I touched on it a little bit. Now, I've been a child of the internet since I was born. You know, I have an older brother, and who I love so much, and he really did a good job of keeping me, I guess, like up with the trends and the times and stuff. He's great, and he's basically the most extroverted person in our family. So I just love him to death. And so he's the one that like got me onto Zanga and like got me on MySpace and all that stuff. Like everything that I did on in Web 2 was because I was just like copying my brother. So I actually like have a lot that I owe him, you know, based on where I am now. But I did theater all growing up, since I was in 5th grade, and I graduated it with my degree. So my degree from college is actually in theater arts, which I think surprises people a lot of the times, and also doesn't surprise people on the same side because of my personality and just like how I can kind of improvise conversations. Like I've been doing theater and improv, or I mean, not actively since I graduated college almost. Oh my God, how many years has it been? Oh God, 6 years this year. But you know, I do attribute a lot of my charisma and, you know, ability to improvise and think on my feet to my theater and training, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. Again, I think that's something that's pretty surprising, and also not surprising. But I mentioned that after I graduated college, I got my first Web 2 job, essentially doing social media marketing for a prenatal DNA test. And that's where I learned everything that, you know, basically about marketing. Like I had to teach myself like Facebook ads, I had to teach myself Google ads, all of that kind of stuff. I managed a website redesign, all of that. I spent 3 years there, and I grew in my career to then working at a digital marketing agency, where I had 17 different clients at one point. It was super overwhelming. And I knew that I had to get back to my roots at working at one brand, because I much rather put my effort towards one particular project than, you know, try to give 100% to 17 different accounts. You know, it just doesn't compute. So currently, my current job that I'm unfortunately stepping away from at the end of this week is a CBD company called Sunday Scaries. They've changed my life. I'm the creative director there. I've been there for over 1.5 years now, and you know, working there has given me the opportunity that I'm headed on in my next adventure, which go follow me on Twitter if you want to find out about that. I'll be making more announcements like next week when this episode comes out. So I'm super excited about that. But, you know, to answer your question, no, I was a Web 2 connoisseur and kind of like tried to learn everything that I could to try to like hack the system in Web 2 before I had even considered Web 3. And to be completely honest, I got into Web 3 because I had gone, all right, fuck it, why not? This is my second podcast. It's only right that I just like fucking lay it all on the table with you, Sniper. So around May of last year, I was on Hinge, which is a dating app in San Diego, and I had matched with this person who I was interested in because I don't know, I was whatever. We went out on a date, and I found out that he was a podcast host and like the co-founder of a pretty popular like DeFi podcast. I'm not gonna shout it out, but I think maybe people could probably fucking figure it out if they take hard enough. But we were kind of on and off, like seeing each other from like May to like November of last year. And every time he tried to talk to me about like the crypto stuff, I was just like, oh, like fake money, like, you know, I totally jaded, like didn't want to learn at all. And then one day he calls me from like, he was on this like retreat or whatever in Colorado and was like, I need you to go to like Google Chrome extensions and install a MetaMask right now. And I was like, I have no idea what any of those words mean in a sentence. Like, obviously I know what a Google Chrome extension is, but I was like, whatever. I'm like taking my dog on a walk. I'll do it when I get back. So I get back, I install MetaMask, I create my profile. He's like, you're going to get a seed phrase, like write that down. Like, don't put that in your phone. Like, you know, giving me all the whole security talk and whatnot. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, all right, I just sent you something. And I looked and it's my Cool Cat. It's Cool Cat 7386. And I was like, oh, thanks. I was like, what is this? And he was like, it's an NFT, like it's a really good project, like Cool Cats, like someone from the team that I work with sent it to me, and I want you to, you know, experience this space and dive in and see if you like it. So I was like, all right, fine. And yo, like I never looked back, dude. Like I joined the Discord. I had never even like stepped foot in Discord before. Cool Cats was the first channel that like I had ever joined ever. And being from the Web 2 and like community building sort of industry, I was so encapsulated in this. And like, just because I have sort of an addictive personality, and when I'm really interested in like something, I just kind of go full force into it. And I'm like, oh shit, like this is my life now. I'm like, damn, like this is really my life now. Like I give a shit. And when he transferred me the cat, it was at the end of August. So like cats were at like, I remember it was like a milestone when it hit 4.20. Like as a, I got an offer for like 4.20 and I like took a screenshot of it. And it's like the first screenshot I ever have or I ever had of my cat in my phone. Cause I just, you know, I'm a loser. But it was like, I didn't understand what any of it meant. He just told me to like hold it in my wallet. He's like, it's safe in there. Like, don't do anything. Don't click any links. Like, you know, all that stuff. And I stepped into the Discord. I went to my first town hall and I was like, damn, like this is a baller community. Like I can learn so much. But to be honest with you, Sniper, like even though I got in at the end of August, like I felt late, bro. Like everyone had their little groups and everyone knew each other. And like it was almost like coming into a new school and like not knowing anybody, you know, like that's kind of how I felt, because I really wanted to be involved and like I wanted to meet people and like I said, like build those relationships and have those conversations. But like there were people out there like Toby Lasso, and it was Ted Lasso at the time, and it was like Ali and like, you know, Pete and all of these other sort of like players and the Cool Cats. And I was like, there's no fucking way that like I'm gonna be able to, you know, build relationships with these people. And like that's a bummer because I really want to learn from them, you know. So I traveled with this person who gave me the cat. We went to the first Cool Cats meetup in LA, because again, I'm based in San Diego, so it's just a quick like 2-hour drive up north. So we went there, and dude, like it was so fucking cool. Like it was so fun. Like it was so my vibe. It was an outdoor venue. Like they had a DJ like playing like some really good music. Like there was an art table set up where people were just like doing art. Like I literally have a photo. We were talking about this on Spaces the other day, but I literally have a photo of like Vinny sitting at the table drawing, Quan sitting at the table drawing next to Jeej, and then another artist, and I'm blanking on his name because I'm awful, also sitting there. And I'm like, I didn't even know these people. And I actually just met Quan in person last weekend when I went up to LA to hang out with Toby and Winnie. And that was like super fucking cool. Like I got to tell him like how like awesome he was and like how much I love the project, and the fact that like he knew me like even before that, and like we were able to meet and he was like, oh yeah, like you're Hales, like whatever. I just fucking died, dude, because like the way that the lemons, I sort of skipped a couple chapters here, but the lemons have also changed my life, because after the CCLA meetup, I was like so shy. Like, I am not who I am right now. Like, I don't think I talked to a single person. Like, I was quiet the whole time, like hiding in the shadows of the person that I came with. And I was like, I fucking hate this. I was like, I literally hate this. I'm such like a communicative, like pretty outgoing person, especially in like the communities that I'm part of. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to make a change. Like, I really, really want to be part of this community. So I started going to more town halls and engaging in Discord a little bit, following more people on Twitter, like replying to people on Twitter, and like really putting myself out there, you know, after this meetup, because I just wanted to be part of the crew, man. Like, I just wanted to be part of the crew. And then the lemons happened. And then the lemons kind of, again, changed my life. Like, there's been some crazy things that have happened in the past, like not even 2 months, like 6 weeks, like from finding the lemons, buying my first lemon at 0.0666, and to where they are now, my relationships with, you know, everybody from, you know, Lobesy, Jack, Ariel, Wenmilk, like you, Sniper, like literally everybody in the space who I've now connected with because of the lemons, and because of, you know, putting myself out there on spaces and just replying to people and like actually starting the conversation. Like, when people ask me like how like how did you kind of like wiggle yourself into this community, and I'm like, I just wouldn't shut up. Like, I literally just didn't shut up for a little bit, because I just really wanted to be part of these groups, and like, you know, listening to people and supporting people, like your friends who create things. Like, you know, I bought a With Hearts edition of one of his photography pieces. You know, I try so hard to like support the people that I like and have supported me, and, you know, attended spaces and, you know, congratulated me on my new adventure. And like, you know, you get the energy that you give. So the TLDR of that is you get the energy that you give.
No. I love all that. And there are a couple things I will touch up on. Good Lord. You know, you're moving to NYC, so big congrats on that.
Thank you.
You did say about, you know, you were trendy and stuff, and I do want to say that that's helped me a lot in not only NFTs but kind of just like everything in life. I guess if I had any superpower, it would be kind of being first to things.
Yeah.
But, and I do want to tell people, you know, just being trendy isn't always like you have to join. Kind of just being aware. So that's a big thing I wanted to say.
Yeah,
you know, you're leaving the CBD company too. Yeah. being present and being there is most of it. You know, you can join the Twitter space and you don't have to get up there and talk every time. You can just sit back and learn a lot. So I mean, yeah, I think that is part of the being trendy as well. You know, big congrats again. You know, you're leaving your CBD company to do other things. I never knew that you got gifted a cool cat. I did as well, so we actually share that in common. But we don't have to mention who gave it to you though. And I know you mentioned Hinge, the dating app. So I will say Hinge. That they need to email me and contact my team, because now they owe me about $500 for that mention. So sorry to them, but y'all owe me now.
Yo, dude, they do like influencer campaigns and shit, and they like have influencers post. It's fucking crazy, this world. But anyway, yeah, they do. I'll say.
Persistence is key, though. I know you said that, and that's been a big thing with me and my podcast. You know, since day one, I never expected like tons and tons of love, but I did receive it, and it's just staying on it, doing it every week. I've been doing it since November, which is a crazy thing to say. It's what is it, February? It's my brother's birthday, actually, so happy 12th birthday to my little brother.
Oh shit! Happy
Uh,
birthday,
yeah, I know it's
kid!
crazy, and I'm sitting here doing a podcast. He's at his little birthday party. Everybody's gonna be like, well,
Ah,
why ain't you there? Well, I couldn't be there because it's just him and a bunch of kids at a trampoline park, and I'm kind of like 25 years old, and I can't do that.
I'm
Um, so yeah,
Dude, you'd
yeah,
be
that'd
sore
be a
as
little odd.
fuck.
Dude, I'd be so sore. It'd be unreal. I just went to a place called Activate not too long ago, and that place was wild. But yeah, just staying persistent is a big thing, and
Totally.
it works
And
100% of the
consistent.
times. Yeah, consistent as
Persistent
well.
and consistent.
Consistent is a big thing for me. I guess that would be more the doing this every week and just genuinely caring about others. I know you said you were a Web 2 person, so that actually knocked a couple questions down. So being a Web 2 person and going from like not really understanding, kind of not dissing crypto, but generally not knowing what it is or not really understanding its use. How did you? We know how you found Cool Cats. So how did you stumble upon the Little Lemons? So I know that you have done a lot of spaces with them. We'll talk about how you're kind of a community manager, director in the field. But could you talk us through real quick maybe how you found the lemons after being gifted your Cool Cat?
Oh hell yeah! So actually, after I got my Cool Cat, I entered a community that I still love to this day, like the art. I had a Sad Girls bar. I actually tweeted today that I've paper handed so many NFTs because like I literally sold my Sad Girls bar for like literally what I bought her for because I was just like trying to get out, honestly, because I wanted to buy more lemons, and they have just mooned recently, and they deserve it. I mean, the art is amazing. The Sad Girls bar, we love them. So I did buy other NFTs that didn't really work for me at the time. Like I said, paper hand vibes, but I have to say, I mean, this story is required education for lemon lore, lemon history. One day I was added to just like a group chat in Twitter, and sorry if you hear my dog in the background. She's really mad that I'm not paying attention to her, so she's trying to distract me with squeaking her toys and being annoying. But we love her. So I was put into a group chat by my friend Wen Milk. And he did this because I was just engaging with his tweets and I was like having some fun with him, like acting like we were both talking about how we were single, like on the timeline a bunch, and like we were kind of vibing on that. So again, like relationships and consistency and throwing in a joke every now and then is never a bad thing. But anyway, I was in this group chat and I was sort of just paying attention to it after work one day, and our friend Top Shot Keith dropped like the Little Lemons project into the group chat and was like, yo, like look at these little lemons, like I literally just bought 40 of them, like you guys need to check them out. And I was like, okay, I'll check them out. And he started hosting a Twitter space, and like some other people from the chat were in there, like Jack was in there, I'm pretty sure Ariel was in there too, James, some other people. And I was like sitting in the audience because again, like I had never really talked to these people like in person before, or at least on Spaces. Like one of the first times I had gone on Spaces was right after I had bought my first lemon, because of Top Shot Keith like showing them to me, and just really wanting to be like friends with these people and being like they're hella funny, like I vibe with them, I can see myself like being friends with them and stuff. So I pulled the trigger. I like transferred some ETH. I had some from, I don't know, prior things, and I transferred it and I bought it at 0.06, and I requested to come up on stage and I introduced myself, and honestly, dude, like the rest is history. Like I've just been, loving being part of these spaces. Like there was a time where, so like when the lemon, it was the week before Christmas. Like the only reason I know that is because the first space I ever hosted was literally the week before Christmas on December 18th. So it was that week that we all, bought our lemons and we all started the spaces and started, obsessing over the lemons on Twitter. And there was some times where, Jack literally had clocked in like 48 hours, like on his phone, like from doing Twitter spaces and stuff. And I was like, shit, like someone needs to step in. And around this time I was also starting to feel like really unfulfilled by my job, and like I was really going through some stuff like in real life. So I was like, this is kind of like an escape for me. You know, this is a sub community that I can be part of that really like makes me feel good and makes me laugh and has me crying laughing, you know, and you know, I just love being part of it. And so after I hosted those spaces before Christmas and stuff, you know, then we started having them every day. And the hype just kind of grew and grew and grew. But I'll be honest, like, I got very, very burnt out from it. Like, I hosted a space on January 1st. So there was a space on January 1st where I had held an emergency lemon meeting, essentially to cry on Twitter Spaces, because my original lemon that I had bought, that I had listed at a price that I didn't think it would hit so soon, at least, it was sold like right when I woke up. So I was like essentially crying. I still had my queen lemon because I bought that one like right before Christmas for myself as a Christmas gift. But I didn't have my original lemon. So I was like literally freaking out on Twitter Spaces and like crying, and people were like making fun of me, like Jack and Ali and like Lobesy. They were all like fucking with me, which was, you know, just funny as fuck because it was obviously my fault. And that space just fucking turned into this insane, like, and there's been even bigger ones since then. So like this community has grown exponentially since January 1st, which was literally like a month ago, almost a month ago. So like after that Twitter space, and we had sort of like a moderate, you know, blow up from like Farouk being in there. That was the day that Supreme Patty went in there. Steve Aoki bought a lemon. It was a big day, but I also got super fucking burnt out after that. I was like, damn, like that was really long. I'm fired up, but I'm also like, damn, like I need to take a break. Because again, like we were doing these things every day. Like I'm pretty sure we even did one on Christmas. Like I'm pretty sure we even did one on Christmas. I can't confirm that. I can't remember, but I'm sure we did, honestly. And yeah, I was getting real tired, and we all were, honestly. So, you know, the community has really stepped up. You know, people like Michael who hosts the morning spaces and has become even more involved with the project. Like, shout out to him. Like, that's amazing. And I can't say it enough, but like Cenarius, the creator of the Little Lemon Friends, like he has fostered so much friendship. Like he's a person who is still growing. I say that because, you know, he's on the younger side. He's still an adult, but you know, he's on the younger side, but what he's created at his age is something that people never even get to accomplish in, you know, their long lives. So he can feel accomplished at the very least to know that he brought so many people together as friends, and people to support each other and create together and, you know, converse and, you know, exchange ideas. And, you know, I just think that's so amazing. And that's why I'm fine if the lemons go to zero, man. Like people joke about how, you know, it's the friends we made along the way, but like, it's true. Like it's super true. And I believe that. I will never claim to be like a trader or like a flipper or anything like that. Like I fucking suck at that shit. I'm a collector. I'm a community builder. I'm like a relationship like lover, and like, you know, I just love having these, you know, spaces and being able to connect with people. So it's really not about the trade and flipping for me, which I know is a huge part of the space, and no disrespect to anybody who does that. Actually, I admire you. I think it's really fucking cool. I can't do it. And that's the only reason why, you know, I'm not involved with that. But yeah, you know, it truly, truly is the friends you make along the way and the relationships you build, and, you know, the connections that you make to do things like this. You know, like this is my second ever podcast. The first podcast I did was for my current job. You know, we have like a sponsor or a podcast that we sponsor, and the guy that runs it is like a really good friend of mine. So they had me on to kind of tell my story, and, you know, that was really fun. And then Sniper asked me to do this, and I was super fucking excited. So yeah, I do have the cats and the lemons specifically to thank for where I'm at in this space and all of the relationships I've made. But again, like getting there by putting yourself out there, being a good person, supporting your friends, like going above and beyond. Like if that's not typically in your nature, I can't really help you there, but you get what you give. I'm just gonna keep saying that.
No, I agree. And what's crazy is it might be your second podcast, but you're the first woman on here. So big shout out to you.
I know that's right.
I've been trying to reach out to more women and see if, they would like to come on. So yeah, I tried to reach out to Mina as well. So we're trying to get her on here for the next episode if she's free. But it's crazy. I literally have notes here of like things that I wanted to talk about. You literally covered like lemon spaces over there. So that's crazy. You knocked out so much, and we're still at a great time. So two things I wanted to touch on before we wrap everything up, because this has been an amazing episode. Number one was the POAP that we do for every week. So I usually tell people that we're gonna have a code to claim, but excuse me, some people have reached out and said that they didn't like that it was mobile only, which I understand. So what I'm going to start doing is every week, whenever I upload the episode, I will also drop a website along with it. So all you have to do is at the end of the URL, the end of the website, you just put in the code like you would any other time. So if the code was woof, you'd put in the URL, and then at the end you just put woof. Once it pops up, all you have to do is claim the NFT, and you can do it from mobile or from your desktop. So it's kind of working for both, and anyone can claim it, and it seems to work a lot better than people claiming secret codes, because I've had so many problems. But long story short, what would you like the code to be? You get to pick anything. It can be a small phrase, since it's a website now. I believe it can be like a small phrase. Or it could be just a single word, it could be anything you want.
Oh man. Dude, I wish you told me this before. I'm gonna do my dog's name. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's totally fine.
Hell yeah. Okay, let's do Lucy.
And
Lucy.
Okay. Lucy. We can do that. Just Lucy. We can do it 100%. And I try to stop telling people beforehand, because it's the excitement and sometimes just the thrill of them, like what's the first thing to pop into their head. So yeah, we can do Lucy 100%. So whenever I drop this, yeah, I mean I've heard it a couple of times, so I know Lucy's here in the episode too.
Hell yeah.
But whenever I do drop the episode, I will remind people how to claim this, how to get the POAP, and we will get that to everyone. We'll probably do anywhere from 50 to 100, so a decent amount of people can do it. We'll probably slap Hale's limit on there. We might slap her limit on there. Who knows? Or if she sends us a picture of Lucy, we'll put Lucy on there.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that would be amazing, wouldn't it?
My Ray actually looks like her. You know what? Shout out to the Rays. I know you just had Dose on.
Big shout out to the Rays, of course.
Big fucking shout out to the Rays. We love the Rays. The sellout was literally a week ago, and I'm still high off of it. Like, that night was so fucking fun, dude. Like, can you believe it? Like,
it was a 6-hour space. I was in a space for 6 hours. Didn't even go to sleep after it. I joined like 2 more spaces to talk about
insane.
Yeah, to talk about the Rays, and it was just so crazy because someone was like, yo, you had a podcast with Dose and then they sold out, and I was like, well, I don't think that's why they sold out, but you're right, they did sell out right after.
Correlation
it was super cool.
Causation, but
that is true. It was just so cool though to see Dose be able to sell out of the project after we just had an episode and he spoke so highly about it. We talked about how much it meant to him. So just for that to happen, and now in history, I can go back, listen to that episode, or anyone can listen to that episode and be like, that's kind of not the origin, but you can hear some of the starts of where Rays came from.
Yeah. Dose is amazing.
Oh,
Sorry, I just want to
absolutely.
give
No,
him
you're
a quick
fine.
shout out. We love the dose, and
We absolutely love the dose.
he's welcomed me into this community and given me like so many opportunities. I help him a little bit with the social media for Ray Rays. He's definitely the method to the madness there, answers all the DMs and whatnot. I just kind of help him sort through like, replies and all that kind of stuff. But big fucking shout out to Dose. Like that's my dude. And also Jesse, and that whole like family. Like I love them so much. They get their own little shout out.
For sure. I love them both, Jesse and Dose. And y'all can tell Dose and Hell's your friends because of how much they cuss on the episodes. No, it's not a bad thing, though. I
My
do want to
my
ask
dad
you.
tells me my dad
Yeah.
tells me that it doesn't sound pretty coming out of my mouth, and to that I say, I'm fucking sorry. Like I don't know what to say to that. Like no.
I mean, it's fine. I mean, it never bothers me. I think, that's the one thing people always got on me for cussing a lot. Although I don't cuss tons on the podcast or tons on Twitter, I mean, my mouth is not the best. I've been trying to work on it, but if people see me in public, they might hear it a little more. But yeah, we're working on it. It don't matter. But I do want to finish off by asking you, you're a community manager or a community director. You've worked with a lot of projects. So going from Web 2 to Web 3, now doing what you do, what does this mean to you? What is this like for you now, this total switch in your life?
Well, I love that you bring that up because my new position, I'm actually working I'm working under the head of social media and metaverse marketing. So my new position at my IRL job that I'm about to step into is going to be heavily influenced and engaged with the NFT community. Like they told me specifically that one of the reasons that they want me in this position is because of my relationships that I have in the NFT community and just being able to spot cultural trends and, my relationships with people. So like being able to sort of mix my Web 2 expertise with now my learnings every day from Web 3, like being immersed in this space, like it's incredible. Like I always say to my parents, like, so my parents used to have to literally like pry me off of the computer when I was a kid. Like, dude, like I would spend hours playing like Neopets and like that stuff. Like Neopets was my favorite. Like that's why I love the cat so much, because like Cooltopia like literally is Neopia. Like, but anyway, that's a different thing. But yeah, my parents used to have to literally pry me off of the computer as a kid, and now I'm making, I'm creating content for huge brands and like, being involved in this space and, learning along with my friends and making mistakes, but, having wins together and laughing on Twitter spaces. Like, honestly, like I try to say, or people were like, oh, did you manifest this? Like, how did you like get here? And while I respect manifestation, no, I didn't manifest it. I actually just went after it because I wanted it. And that's typically like what I just do in my life. That's just how I roll a little bit, is to just go after the things that I believe in and that I want. So it's only natural that my Web 2 experience is now going to converge with Web 3, and I'm going to grow along with the space, and we're going to learn together. And I'm so stoked to be on this journey and like to see where people go from here, because the fact that news, like we were also talking about this on Spaces yesterday, like NFT Twitter is like a 24-hour news cycle. Like if something doesn't happen, like breaking news, we're always talking about the last like car crash, you know what I mean? Like, and until something else happens, it's like we just continuously talk about this stuff. Or like engagement farm, it's toxic, man. Like there's so many studies on how bad the 24-hour news cycle is for your mental health, and I find NFT Twitter to be the same. So again, like there has to be balance, and I'm getting a little off track and ranty here, but find a balance between learning and being engaged, and also like taking time for yourself. Like that's very important, because again, you want to avoid that burnout, and you want to make sure your cup is full at the end of the day, because if you're drinking out of an empty cup, you're gonna get parched or something. I don't know. That sounded like a Lobes. That sounded like a
Something like that.
Lobesism. That sounded like a Lobesism, and he's not even here. He's rubbing off on me.
It's something. It goes something like that. And it's crazy you said keeping up with like his 24 hours, because as we're doing this, Farouk got hit with the listing error.
Oh shit.
Yeah, he just lost. He lost the Roboto 381, which was the one. He actually made a tweet and said, I had sent it to my little brother as a gift back then, and then he sent it back to me against another one since I used it on the rugs, and now it's gone. And this was, I believe, the Roboto that Pablo Stanley painted for him. So that's a bummer. But yeah, literally that shows, like, literally while we're doing a podcast, there's things just going on. Farouk's a big person in the space, so for him to get hit with a listing error or exploit or whatever it is, I'm surprised to see it happening on the Robotos of all projects. But I mean, it goes to show, they're not they're not sleeping out here. They're really going for anything. But hell, we've been going for about 55 minutes. You're the longest episode I've had by far, which is amazing, because that means we've just had a great conversation the whole time, and I can't thank you enough for it.
Thank you so much for having me and listening to me.
Oh, for sure. It's going to be crazy, because I know a lot of lemons will probably listen to this, and they always support you. Cool Cats as well. But I think they're going to be happy with the things that you said, and like how much this means to you. Not only that, but just like NFTs as a whole. And I think it'll really, not that anybody has a negative image or negative thoughts on you, but if anybody's ever wondered about you or thought this or thought that, they can definitely tune into this episode and get a more clearer picture, which is what I love about these episodes, especially when it's not with the founder of a project. It's kind of just people throughout the community like yourself. So yeah, I can't thank you enough for coming on here. It really means the world to me.
Thank you, Sniper, for inviting me and listening to me rant. Like, I know I can't shut up when I love things, and I just love this space and talking about it. And to be honest, I don't have a lot of people in my in real life friend group that kind of understand it. So when I get a chance to actually speak on it and give my experience, I'm super stoked on it. So thank you so much again. I'm not going to apologize, but thank you so much again for listening to me. I appreciate it so much.
No, always. And like I said, it's been amazing being able to have a powerful, strong woman come on here and be able to speak about things and her position in the space and how much it means to her and things like that. So I mean, hopefully I get more on here, hopefully your friends listen in or people listen in and they really are like, damn, I want to go on there and speak as well. So, who knows, you might have opened a gate for a lot of people. I'm hoping that's what it was, because that's what we need on here. But thank you so. Go ahead.
I'm gonna run it up. That's all I'm gonna say.
Please do. But no, your support means everything. It's always been a great time since I've met you as a friend, and I'll continue to support you as you go through the space, whether it be a community manager, moving to NYC, not working at the CBD place anymore. But no, it was really good to have you on here, and I want to remind everybody, we will have a POAP, and I will release whenever this releases the episode, it should be on a Monday, I will update the tweet with how to claim the POAP as well, and then there will be an image and all that good stuff. But this has been episode 12 with Hells, and I hope everyone has had a great week. Is there anything you want to say before we end it, Hells?
Damn. Last thing I'd like to say is lemon. That's all I got.
Damn. That's a perfect way to end it. And y'all heard it here first. Lemon. Just lemon. But period. I hope y'all have a great week, and we will be talking to y'all next Monday. We'll see you.